Hello everyone, welcome to our Novakokun Education Society's DBJ College Chiplun. Myself, Mr. Arun Jadhav from Department of Environment Education. Like the previous one, we are back again with an important topic regarding population growth. In our previous session, we have studied population growth, definitions of some terms, demographic transition, four phases of demographic transition, and population pyramids. Today, we are going to talk about one of the important concepts of the population, that is migration of people. So let us start. Definition of migration of people is movement of people from one place to another. So definition of migration is very simple. It is nothing but movement of people from one place to another. This migration leads to an increase or decrease in a population. Recently, migration has become a major issue all over the world. There are two processes of migration. First process is emigration. Emigration is nothing but movement of people out of certain area. So when people move out of certain area, when people leave a particular area and move to the other parts, then the process is called as emigration. And the second process is immigration. Immigration is nothing but entry of people in an area. So when people enter in an area from other parts, the process is called as immigration. So these are the two processes, emigration and immigration. Now these two processes affect population of an area. When emigration happens, that is when people move out of certain area, population of that area decreases. And when immigration happens, when people enter in an area, population of that particular area increases. So this is how migration affect population. After studying migration and its processes, let us talk about two important incidences or major incidences of migration in India. Of these two, first is the recent migration due to coronavirus pandemic. During this coronavirus pandemic, there was a nationwide lockdown in our country, India. And this lockdown was declared in the month of March. World Bank has published a report on migration in India. And according to this report of World Bank, a nationwide lockdown in India in the month of March has impacted nearly 40 million internal migrants. So this nationwide lockdown has impacted nearly 4 crore people, 4 crore internal migrants in India. As we have seen disastrous situation of migrants in our news reports in newspapers and on televisions. Due to lockdown, so many people lost their jobs and they could not stay safe at their houses in a city like Mumbai because it was hardly possible for them to maintain social distancing, and therefore they decided to return their natives. And the picture that we saw during their migration was really heartbreaking. Many of the people have lost their lives during this process of migration. According to this report of World Bank, the magnitude of an internal migration was about 2.5 times that of the internal migration. So the magnitude of migration that was happened during coronavirus pandemic was very huge. It was 2.5 times that of the international migration. So this is all about the first incident or which is of major migration in India. Now the second is migration during partition. India has experienced one more incident of huge migration, that is forced migration during our partition in 1947. It is estimated that up to 1 million people were killed during the violence in 1947. So more than 10 lakh people were killed. Some about 12 million people were displaced in divided province of Punjab alone. and up to 20 million people in the subcontinent as a whole. So this partition was also an example of major migration in India. So these are the two important incidents of migrations in India which are really very major. After talking about these two major incidences, let us talk about factors of migration. Now there are two types of factors. First factor of migration is push factor. Push factors are the factors that force people to leave the place of their origin. Push factors are the factors that force people to move out of certain area. And the second type is pull factors. Pull factors are the factors that attract people in other areas. So these are the two factors. Let us talk about first type, that is pull factors. Push factors. Let us discuss first of all push factors. Now push factors are the factors that compel person to leave place of their origin. There are so many push factors. Let us talk about all the push factors in detail. So first factor is unemployment. Now first factor is unemployment. Unemployment occurs when a person who is actively searching for employment is unable to find work, and this happens due to various reasons. For example, due to low industrial development, low infrastructural development, economic underdevelopment, etc. And people migrate to new places when they do not get employment opportunities in their own locality. So this is how employment becomes push factor. This is how unemployment becomes push factor. So here we have seen that due to unemployment, people do not get livelihood, due to which they migrate to new places. For example, migration from rural to urban areas. This is the general example. This is the general trend that we see in migration. And one more example is, as said earlier, migration of people from metro cities to their natives during COVID-19 pandemic, coronavirus pandemic. So these are the examples of unemployment. During coronavirus pandemic, as people lost their jobs, so they decided to go to their natives, go to the rural areas from metro cities. So this is all about the first factor, that is unemployment. Now the second factor is economic underdevelopment. Now economic underdevelopment, in economic underdevelopment, when a certain area faces problems like low income, low level of living, high rate of population growth, illiteracy, technical backwardness, capital deficiency, dependence on backward agriculture, high levels of unemployment, then it is said that the particular area is economically underdeveloped. So basically, economically underdeveloped areas face many problems, like the problem of low level of living, high birth rate, illiteracy, technical backwardness, capital deficiency. So all these problems are there in economically underdeveloped areas. Such underdevelopment also force people to leave that area and to go to the areas which are economically developed. For example, migration of people from economically underdeveloped states in India to developed states. So this is all about economic underdevelopment. In economic underdevelopment, we have seen that economically underdeveloped areas, cities or countries faces many problems, and due to which people decided to leave that area and migrate to new places. Now the third important point, push factor, is low wages and low salaries. In low wages and salaries, when income of people is not enough to meet their basic needs due to low wages and salary, people do not want to settle in such areas. and due to which they leave that area and migrate to new places where they get high salaries and high wages. So low wage or low salary is also an important factor that force people to migrate from one place to the another. So this is how the low wage becomes push factor. Now the fourth factor, push factor of migration, is political instability. Political instability is nothing but a situation whereby the control of a country is badly affected due to civil wars. When a country is unstable, nothing positive seems to happen in a country, then in such a scenario, people migrate to new places. According to National Geographic's Earth's Pulse, there are approximately 42 million people worldwide who have been forced to migrate due to wars. Now, wars and armed conflicts have diverse causes, but all these factors are influenced by political issues. War migrants not only migrate to usual countries like United States, United Kingdoms, Canada, Australia, they also migrate within their own geographical areas such as within their own continent. Now example of migration due to political instability or civil wars is an example of Syria. Syria's deadly civil war, due to which millions of people are forced to migrate. So this is how political instability becomes push factor. It forces people to leave that area and migrate. Now the fifth important factor, push factor of migration, is disputes and conflicts. In disputes and conflicts, due to violence, war, environmental degradation, deprivation, fear, identity politics, and economic insecurity, people migrate to new places. So due to these kinds of problems, people migrate to new places where these problems are not there. So this is all about disputes and conflicts due to which people migrate to a new places. Now the sixth important push factor is lack of freedom. In democratic countries like India, we have freedom of speech and expression, freedom of movement, freedom of assembly, freedom to reside and to settle, and freedom of profession, occupation, trade, or business. So in a country like India, we are having all these kinds of freedoms. But in some parts of the world or some parts, they do not get such a freedoms, due to which they migrate to the countries which are having such a kind of freedoms. So when people are deprived of their freedom, various freedoms, they leave that area and migrate to a new places. People do not want to live in restrictions. People do not want to live under burden. And when people are forced to live, therefore people are forced to leave such areas due to lack of these kinds of freedoms. So this is how lack of freedom becomes push factor. Now the seventh important factor is discrimination based on religion and politics. Discrimination based on religion and politics is also a push factor. Religious discrimination is treating a person or group differently because of particular beliefs which they hold about religion. This includes instances when adherents of different religions, denominations, or non-religions are treated unequally due to their particular beliefs, either before the law or in institutional settings such as an employment or housing. Due to such a kind of discrimination, people are forced to migrate to new places where they are equally treated. So discrimination based on religions and politics also becomes a push, as people do not want any kind of discrimination in their society. So where there is a discrimination, people decided to move from that area to other parts. So this is all about the seventh important point or push factor, that is discrimination based on religion and politics. Now, the eighth factor which is responsible for migration or which acts as a push factor is lack of medical care. Now, in lack of medical care, in the modern age, proper medicinal facilities have become one of the important necessity. But still, in many parts of the world, enough medical care is not available. If we talk about our India, then rural India is far away from such a kind of facilities. And when people do not get such a kind of facilities in their locality, they move to the region with good health care. So medical facilities are also important, or it is also one of the important factors that people consider during their settlements. So lack of medical care also becomes a push factor of migration. So these are the 8 push factors. The 8 push factors are: first is unemployment, second is economic underdevelopment, third is low wage and salary, fourth is political instability and wars, sixth is disputes and conflicts, seventh is lack of freedom, discrimination based on religions and politics, and last is lack of medical care. So these all are the push factors. Now the second type of factor of migration is pull factors. Pull factors are the factors that attract people. So pull factors attract people. Now there are various pull factors. The first pull factor is better economic prospects. Better economic prospects is one of the very important pull factor. Everybody wants to have better economic opportunities. Better economic opportunities enable people to consume more goods and services and enjoy better standards of living. Therefore, people always prefer cities or areas with better economic prospects to settle down. If people do not belong to such areas, then they migrate to the places having better economic opportunities. In India, our metro cities have such a kind of better economic prospect, and therefore people in other parts go to these metro cities and settle in such areas. So this is how better economic prospects become pull factor. Now the next second factor, pull factor, is high salary and income. So people want high salary and income to provide their basic needs and increasing demands, rising demands. So when particular places, city or country provides higher salary, then automatically people get attracted to that area or city and they migrate to such areas. In India, cities surrounded by industries provide high salary, and industrialized cities are having high rate of migration. As the cities in which industries are concentrated, people get high salaries in such cities, and so people are getting attracted to such cities. So high salary and income is one of the important pull factor. Now the third important factor, pull factor, is better standards of living. Third factor is better standards of living. Now standard of living is the level of wealth, comfort, material goods and necessities available to certain socio-economic class or certain geographic area. Standard of living is closely associated with quality of life, which can also include factors like economic and political stability, political and religious freedom, environmental quality, climate and safety. So all these things are included in standard of living. Everybody wants to live luxurious life. As the income of people increases, they want to have better standard of living. And as in India, the perception is metro cities or big cities provide the better standard of living. So people are running towards such cities. So better standard of living is also one of the important pull factor which attracts people from other areas. Now, fourth factor is good governance. Now, in good governance, governance is the process of decision making and process by which decisions are implemented. Good governance means good governance means the manner in which power is exercised in the management of countries' economic and social resources for development. When people see a government which is accountable, participatory, consensus oriented, transparent, responsive, effective and efficient, equitable and inclusive, and very important is follows the rule of law, they automatically get attracted to such areas. So, good governance includes accountability, participation of people, consensus oriented, transparency, responsiveness, effectiveness, efficiency, equitable and inclusive growth. So these are the factors included in good governance. And when people see these factors in a government in an area, then they are automatically get attracted to such areas. Good governance also assures that the corruption is minimized, the view of the minorities are taken into account, and the voice of the most vulnerable in a society are heard in the decision making. Therefore, good governance is the pull factor in the process of migration. Good governance also includes low corruption level, the views of minorities are taken into consideration, the voice of most vulnerable person in a society, most vulnerable, we can say most vulnerable uh, part of the society are heard in a decision making. Therefore, good governance attract people from other areas. Now, the fifth factor is safety and stability. In safety and stability, feeling safe, stable, and secure is central to our health and well being. How safe we feel at home and our neighborhood can influence our social habits and feelings of freedom. When we feel safe, we find it easier to relax, to do all the things that and focus on the work or study we need to do to help ensure our stability. Therefore, people migrate to the areas which are safe and stable for their settlement. So, safety and stability is very important thing which is considered during migration, because people want stability and safety for themselves and their family members, because safety and stability influences various things. So this is how safety and stability becomes pull factors. Now, sixth important factor, pull factor, is intellectual freedom. Sixth factor is intellectual freedom. Intellectual freedom is a right of every individual to both seek and receive information from all points of views without restrictions. It provides for free access to all expressions, ideas, through which any and all sides of a question, cause, or movement be explored. Intellectual freedom is the basis of our democratic system. It protects an individual's right to access, explore, consider, and express ideas and information as the basis of self governing, well informed citizenship. In freedom, intellectual freedom comprises the bedrock for freedom of expressions, speech, and the press, and relates to freedom of information and the right to privacy. Therefore, people migrate to the areas that ensures intellectual freedom. Seventh important factor, pull factor, is no discrimination. In this modern era, everybody wants to live peaceful life in a society where there is no discrimination on the basis of race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, or other status such as disability, age, marital, and family status. So, in this modern age, people do not want any kind of discrimination. Everybody wants to live peaceful life, and therefore the areas which are having no discrimination, people prefer such areas for the settlement. So this is how no discrimination becomes pull factor. Now, and the eighth and very important pull factor is better medical care facilities. Health facilities range from small clinics and doctors' offices to urgent care centers and large hospitals with elaborate emergency rooms and trauma centers. The number and quality of health facilities in a country or region is one of the common measure of that area's prosperity and quality of life. So it is very obvious that people prefer such areas where there are big hospitals, medicinal facilities or advanced medical facilities, and therefore people prefer such areas where they get all kinds of medical facilities, advanced medical facilities at their doorstep. So this is how better medical care facilities become pull factor. So these are the 8 pull factors. Let us revise all the pull factors. First is better economic prospects. Second is higher salary and income. Third is better standards of living. Fourth is good governance. Fifth factor is safety and stability. Sixth is intellectual freedom. Seventh is no discrimination on any basis. And the last is better medical care facilities. So these all are the pull factors. So here in this session we have seen what is meant by migration, processes of migration, emigration and immigration, and how these processes affect population of a particular area, and pull factors and push factors of migration. Thank you.